Hello, folks, and welcome back. Age of Empires. Let's restart this. Quiz?
Your failure is a disgrace, and because of you the kingdom has fallen. Suffering from a famine, your people have deposed Pharaoh Narmer. The new ruler offers you a chance to participate in the next hippopotamus hunt. You will be the bait.
Okay. The game really doesn't like...
Your failure is a
The game really doesn't like restarting. I don't know why, it just loops back to your save.
The future of Egypt is about to change. The great pharaoh
It's
Narmer
a point of
seeks
concern.
to unite the upper and lower kingdoms into
Maybe
a
a pain in the
unified
ass
Egypt.
later on.
Using the wealth brought from farming along the Nile's banks, he will finally be able to defeat his rivals. Take control of the villages along the river and build a surplus of 800 food to feed your people and Narmer's warriors. In addition, take control of the ancient stone circle of Nabta Playa, found in the desert to the west. Controlling this ancient ruin will demonstrate Narmer's power to his opponents. Be wary of nearby peoples, however. You need not destroy them, but know that they will attempt to undermine Narmer's goal of uniting Egypt.
Every year, heavy monsoon rains in the mountains of Ethiopia will cause the Nile to flood its banks downstream in Egypt. This period of flooding from June to September was called Akhet. While waiting for the waters to recede and reveal the fertile mud and fresh silt left behind, Egyptian farmers spent their time mending and making tools and looking after animals. As Egypt became a kingdom, farmers would use some of this time to work for the king, called the pharaoh, to build tombs and temples. When the waters receded, the Egyptians would plow the soil during a season called Peret, from October to February. Egyptians plowed by hand or used animal pull plows. Seeds were sown, and goats and other animals walked over the fields to push the seeds into the ground and provide additional fertilizer. The Egyptians grew a variety of crops, including wheat, barley, flax, onions, leeks, garlic, beans, lettuce, to lentils, cabbages, radish, turnips, grapes, figs, plums, and melons. Harvest time was a period called Shamu, from March to May. Grain was coupled sickles, tied into bundles, and carried away to granaries. Skilled artisans in town turned the wheat into bread, the barley into beer, and flax into linen cloth. Papyrus trees were gathered to make sandals, boats, baskets, mats, and paper. Agricultural professions to develop and foster new cultural tools and artifacts. Although the first signs of agriculture date from 8000 BCE, the first farming communities did not appear in Egypt until the period from circa 6000 to 3150 BCE. These early settlements introduced new technologies such as irrigation in the form of These early settlements introduced new technologies such as irrigation in the form of canals and basins. This allowed the Egyptians to regulate the floods to maximize food production. The Egyptian agricultural system allowed the region to support 2 to 12 million people. Even as late as the Roman era, Egypt was still considered a granary of the ancient world. Indeed, when pirates started raiding between Rome and Egypt, Rome actually started falling into famine. Rome was crippled by these pirates. It was bad enough they had to actually assign a dictator, not a bad thing in those days, to deal with it. A dictator was empowered, given a particular list of powers to fulfill a particular task, or was given a time limit with which to do it in. So Pompey, the general, no connection with the city and its slightly different spelling, was given control over the Mediterranean, and so far inland in case the pirates fled in. He was also allowed to commandeer any needed ships to deal with the pirates, and he was given like 6 years to do it in. He did it in 6 months or something. I can't quite remember the statistics, but he did it in a largely shorter amount of time. He did it in a fraction amount of time than he was given. He actually worked with the pirates. He took them captive, but he didn't torment them. He treated them quite well, to the point where they gladly turned on their comrades. Then he didn't execute them, which earned him critique from home, but he instead made them farmers and put them to work on a farm on the eastern side of the Mediterranean, somewhere up this way. So I guess maybe they were enslaved. It was never specified as enslaved though, just they were made farmers and given land. And somehow that discouraged others for a time from becoming pirates. I don't see how, unless that was an implication of slavery. I suppose they didn't really have a choice in it, but you could see it as a punishment and not, outright slaving. But the Romans did have slaves and whatnot, so... Cicero had a slave, but according to the slave, they were actually friends. When Cicero was about to be assassinated by a goon of Mark Antony's, he told his slave to flee. He could have left the guy there, but he told him to, get going. So, I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't people in history who had slaves, but it was, it wasn't the typical view we would have now of it. That kind of dynamic, Slave in name only, even. Wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. It's always eccentrics or what have you, It's always hard to look back and know. And then there's also Stockholm Syndrome and the captor's side of it, so... Always paranoid of that kind of thing, biasing accounts. But yeah, captors can actually develop their own form of Stockholm Syndrome. It's called differently, but it functions the same way. They fall in love with their captive, even to the point of letting them go. The population boom brought about by agriculture caused villages to coalesce into small kingdoms along the Nile. These kingdoms invaded and annexed others until only two kingdoms remained, those of Upper and Lower Egypt in its south and north respectively. So Upper Egypt was in the south, and Lower Egypt was in the north. Okay, that pisses me off. This terminology derives from the flow of the Nile River. Yeah, I was guessing it was going to be this. From the highlands of Eastern Asia to the south of the Nile Delta in the north. The highlands of Eastern Asia? I literally saw Asia there. The highlands of Eastern Africa in the south. To the Nile Delta in the north. The king of Upper Egypt wore a tall white crown called a Heya, while the king of Lower Egypt wore a red crown called a Deshret. Around 3100 BCE, before Common Era. It's a secular way of saying BC or AD. It'll be after Common Era. It's just a secular way of saying it, I suppose. A king named Namr, who also identified as Menes, unified the two kingdoms. A siltstone tablet called the Palnai and I'm depicts the king wearing the crown of Upper Egypt on one side and the crown of Lower Egypt on the other. A later king named the Jet will be depicting wearing both crowns together at once. The double crown known as the Peshent, which symbolized the unity of Egypt.
Somas. Zeltanka.
Okay.
Oh, I turned this on at the time when I stopped the recording. I'm perfectly fine with it being on, it's probably going to deactivate when I stop the recording. It turns on, but with F11. Oh.
Rogan? Palama.
Okay, you. Go build that. You do that. You do this. That's just about gone.
Somas.
Just gonna put them all on wood for a bit. Should have built it here. Maybe if I deforest here a bit, I can just set some down. Could do that, couldn't I?
Oklema? Hombis. Hombis. Lare. Hombis.
Okay. I wonder how large it is.
Alama, alama. Darwin. Alama. Alama. Darwin. Alama.
Let's see. Didn't even notice it leaving. When did deposit at the dock? Is it just immediately stored? I guess. That's nice. I was worried I was gonna have to have people ferrying it down. That's why I was feeling I built it in the wrong place. Honestly, playing this is bringing me back to goddamn, there was a RTS I played as a kid, Fate of the Dragon, it was called. I keep forgetting its name, but it was a brilliant RTS, Romance of the Three Kingdoms setting. So much fun, and in it you could have your archers in a boat and they'll fire out. They would just like rain hell on people. It was beautiful. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch this then. Because it's bugging the hell out of me. Yeah, it just goes straight in. Nice. Start fishing that. Got 2 more going out. I want to get some scout ships of my own going. We did see how many the enemy had. We did see that the enemy had them. So... oh good, they just upgraded themselves. I thought I had to do it independently. Which inflict extra damage on archers' walls and towers. Domestication. Excuse me. I want to block off over there with some watchtowers. Need to make sure I'm ready first, though. Take some people off wood. Still got 8 on it. So 150 stone. I need to find a stone pit, so
Ombis. Oklema. Ombis. Ombis. Alamas. Ombis. 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 Alamas. Alamas. Ombis. Oklema.
could you get to work?
Alamas. 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 Bombis. Alamas. Bombis. Hilari. Alamas. Bombis. Bombis. Road. Bombis. Road. Alamas. Yuri. Bombis.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Yuri. Pokemon. Alamas. 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 Alamas.
Go look down this way.
Alamas. 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 Summit. Alamas. Summit. Summit. Alamas. Alamas.
Oh, that's annoying. I screwed that up.
Bombis. Summit. Alamas. Bombis.
I just got too eager.
Alamas. Darwin. Alamas. 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 Alamas.
Do wonder what they're saying. Let's actually explore over here first.
Alamas.
Is there any stone available here?
Alamas. 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 Somas. Bombas. Bombas.
Okay, down here. I suppose I should start getting ready for a fight. Okay, I got the stockpile. Light Rider with a large line of sight to explore the map. So, 15. That guy's actually dodging them, since they don't know the concept of target prediction yet, motion prediction yet. Dead farm. They don't seem to give a shit about this guy now. Where are these runes? Oh. Runes, ancient structures built by Naos cultures. Runes can be victory conditions or increase your score. Okay. Erectus. Finally. Or Egypt's defeated.
The gods have blessed our great pharaoh Narmer and united our people. Egypt is destined to become the greatest civilization ever seen. The pharaoh has promised you a spot on the carved stone tablet commissioned to honor his victory. For obvious reasons, your image will not be as big as his.
Obviously.